this reading finds you well. For those of you who are new to my channel, hello, and for those of you who have been here a long time, welcome back. Four of Swords, overall energy, first card. But as usual, this is going to be a relationship spread, meaning that you could always apply this with anyone in your life. It could be with your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, exes, crushes, fiance, family members, anyone. I am basically just going to be picking up your relationship energy in general, all right? And don't forget to also check your sun, moon, or Venus sign, because for me personally, I realize that with my readings, I resonate much more with my Venus sign rather than my sun sign, but probably because my Venus in 7th house, 8th house actually, I don't really know. But if it doesn't resonate, then it just doesn't resonate. There's so many amazing, talented tarot readers out there for you to just click and watch, all right? So how I do my reading. So if you're first to my channel, then watch this, but if you're not, probably just fast forward to 1 minute from now. But how I actually do my reading is that I would read for one person scenario and then two people scenario, meaning that if you're only dealing with one person, the first portion of the reading is going to be the one for you. But if you're dealing with two people, the first portion of the reading is going to be explaining the dynamic of the energy of the person that you're, most focused on. And the second portion of the reading is where the scenario will then apply, when I will be talking about person A and person B, okay? So now let's just get into it. Scorpio, so your overall energy for the now, you have the Four of Swords, you have the Strength card, and you also have the Nine of Wands. What is challenging you? You have the Five of Wands, you have the King of Cups in reverse, and you also have the Magician card in reverse. How do you do it? Seriously, how do you do it? How can you do this? I mean, yeah, I need to learn from you. How can you be Six of Pentacles? Giving, or putting a show out there in the world that everything is fine, that you got everything under control, where you kind of feel Ace of Cups in reverse. So you're either drained or you're bleeding in love, but you just don't feel good about yourself. I need to learn this from you, because for me, especially with my Cancer moon, every time I feel the Ace of Chalices in reverse, it has a domino effect into everything. So I kind of want to know how you do it. I'm kind of amazed by it. You know what I mean? But anyway, there's somebody here that you are distancing yourself from. You have the Nine of Wands there and also the Four of Swords. So you're exercising like a lot of your patience. Strength card or patience is going to be the theme, especially from the 20th until the 30th of July, because you feel like you're exercising like a lot of your patience, but you have to keep going. You know what I mean? Like that determinations, and also the consistency of the Strength card. Like you have to just kind of like keep going, but also at the same time, you're not actually letting anybody in right now, especially with this Nine of Wands. So as you can see, the Nine of Wands is a bit different than a traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, because the Nine of Wands is you're letting people dealing with your puppet or the persona or the aura or whoever it is, but you're actually kind of like hiding yourself behind it, because this is where your emotions lies. This person is wearing the color blue, which is the color of emotions, water, you know what I mean? And so what's challenging this relationship is the Magician card in reverse, the Five of Wands, and also the King of Chalices. So because it's the overall energy, so it could be you, it could be them. King of Cups in reverse talks about not emotional unavailability. It's much more about emotional manipulations a bit. Emotional manipulations is what we do in order to trigger some sort of emotions towards the other person. Like for instance, if you know that this person doesn't like, and I'm not pointing fingers because it's the overall energy. So you could be doing this to them, or they could be doing this to you. So for instance, if you know that they feel jealous about your best friend, in order for you to get an emotional reactions from them, you would try to invoke jealousy from them by, going out with your best friend or whatever, that type of stuff. Hi, so I'm back. So I was at the first challenge, King of the Chalices in reverse. So the second challenge, you have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands, it's quite different than a traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, because you have two people not wanting to lower down their weapon. I think it's much more them than you, though, because you have the Strength card. So you are exercising like a lot of your patience. You're trying to tame down that Mars energy or that Sun energy, that ego, you know what I mean? Like you're trying to tame it down. whereas the challenge of this relationship is the Five of Wands. So it's about power. It's about I am right. It's about trying to get your point across with the manner that, you know, this one is right. Like, I really believe in it. Don't try to say that I'm wrong because this one is right, you know. And the third challenge, you have the Magician card in reverse. And Magician card in reverse also talks about trickery, or it could actually talks about pessimism that this relationship is going to work. This person actually in the past, you know, even until in the now, well, let's just see, wait a minute. The Wheel of Fingers, okay, you're gonna come back. Right. So here's the thing. I think it's kind of like I have a similar theme to Cancer reading that I did yesterday, but because you have the wheel here, the Wheel of the Year, and it's from your partner's side. So the Wheel of the Year talks about expansion, talks about universe type of intervention as well. So there is going to be either a circumstances, either an event or whatever that is going to come to make them kind of like come towards you, like go here, you know what I mean? They're just going to go with how your river flows, if that makes sense. This person in the past was struggling a lot because they had the Ten of Wands. I feel like in the past it's not about letting go, but I feel like there is a sense of acceptance from your side because you have the World card. You felt like the chapter has ended, whether the relationship has ended or not, but you feel like the argument has been ended. You feel like you finally resolved a thing in this relationship sense with them. In regards to your relationship with them, and you have the Nine of Chalices, so you were focusing much more about your self-happiness, and you were the Fool card, so you were starting over, you know what I mean, with the Fool card. You just want to be open as much as you can, you just want to enjoy life as much as you can, because you feel like you've gained lesson from this relationship. And they still have a belief that, even in the past, they still have a belief that if they were to be putting focus, energy into this relationship, it could actually grow into becoming the Ten of Pentacles, because they see the value in you. They see, okay, I think this person is a very, very long-term partner's material and stuff like that. And they're kind of like dealing with a lot with that Ten of Wands. You know what I mean? It kind of like felt burden to them. So what they're doing in the now, they're Four of Cups. So there's this resistance of change. Four of Cups, we're talking about stability, something that is stable, something that we hold on to. Similar to Four of Pentacles, I'm not willing to accept this type of information or this type of changes, because I feel like what I'm doing right now is for my own good, is for my own safety, is so that I would not get hurt again. But honey, if you're a cross watcher, you have Jupiter in Sagittarius right now. It's time for expansion. So the universe or God has its own way of trying to expand whatever it is that you're holding on to so quite tightly. You know what I mean? And it is going to happen. So it's either, again, as I said, like either you walk down to the grocery stores and then you meet this person. Or you guys are working together, and all of a sudden, like your boss is assigning this person to work closely with you, whatever that is. But the star is on your side right now, Scorpio, because this one is just going to make it lead the way to you. You have doubts. You have the Queen of Swords here. You have doubts. You no longer trust this person because in the past you feel the Nine of Cups already. You feel the Fool card. You feel liberated already. You feel like you have managed to do yourself good by focusing much more on your self-happiness. But yeah. So let's see what's going on in the future. Ten of Pentacles, beautiful. I want to clarify something. Pentacles. Yeah. 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so in the end though, in the future though, it's beautiful because you have the Three of Cups. So again, as I said, I feel like they're going to be doing this much more to you than you are going to be doing this to them, because Three of Cups, as you can see in this particular deck of mine, there is a sense of surprise here, and they also have the Ten of Pentacles. So things on the surface is looking good, right? You feel happy, you feel kind of like surprise, although how should I say this? I mean, Three Cups, you feel surprised, you feel happy, but I mean, everything takes time, right? Because you would still feel that the relationship is not going as it used to, because you still don't know how to act around them, and they still don't know how to act normal towards you. You don't know how to let go of things that was happening in the past. They too don't know how to let go of things that was happening in the past, because they had that Five of Pentacles as well. You know, they're dealing with a lot of inner conflict battle. Like Two of Wands is the card where they kind of like try to observe what they need to do, and their mind, their logical mind, is telling them to go against this relationship. If they have an air sign person, this air sign friend of them, yeah, also kind of like gives them like, no, don't do that, that's stupid. It's like an outside influence into this relationship as well. So from your side though, you're just tired. You know, you have the Nine of Wands, and you're dealing with a lot of your shadow side as well with the Devil card, although you do, as much as they do, have a very, very big faith into this relationship. But you're kind of like, well, should I do it again? Should I give it another try again? Should I trust this person again? Because the last time I did it, you know, it made me babak belur, in Indonesia we call it, or it just made me end up with a lot of bruises and wounds and stuff like that. So you're going to be dealing with a lot of your shadow side in the future. Although on the surface, on a relationship sense, you know, on a macroscopic view, everything is doing all right. But the both of you are going to be dealing with a lot of inner angst, Nine of Swords, see. And for them, it's not helping if they do have like either a air sign person, a friend or family member who keeps telling them like, nah, don't do that, stuff like that. All right. So that is if you're dealing with one person. If you're dealing with two people, ini Five of Cups, emang dia tujuannya kayak gimana sih? So I want to clarify something. Okay. Apakah mereka lebih baik daripada person A? Not necessarily so. Oh, okay. Okay, so if you are dealing with all right. Okay, so I need to keep this in mind. Fire. I need to keep these two in mind. Anyway, so if you're dealing with with two people, so if you're dealing with one person, your reading ends a few seconds ago. If you're dealing with two people, person A is somebody who still has something for you. They have the Ace of Pentacles. But I feel like your focus is very much on person A though. I mean, with person B, you like their Ten of Wands. You like their persistency. You like how they approach to you first. You just like the effort that they made towards you. Person A was still having a very big faith into this relationship, but in the past, I think like the chapter has been closed, you finally feel liberated from it, and then you were focusing much more on your self-happiness, but the Nine of Chalice is there. Yeah. With that Nine of Chalices there, you're focusing much more on yourself. Happiness. In the now, though, although you pay like a lot of attention towards... Okay, so if you're dealing with two people, it's completely different than a one person scenario. Why? Because in one person scenario, you would find yourself being helped by the stars to make them come to you. Whereas in two people scenario, you're not going to, because you're going to be the one who is doing things to them. Six of Pentacles, like you're either going to give them focus, you're either going to give them attentions, you're going to either give them energies or whatever. They're much more the Four of Cups, so they're much more withdrawn. They're much more being very, very protective over their heart chakra right now. And you would see this, you know, especially in the now, like you would see that this person is kind of like quite withdrawn, like they do not want to engage in an emotional conversation with you. They're not going to be willing to share either their past secrets or what they're up to and everything like that, like because they're protecting their heart chakra. I feel like with person A in the future, like you're going to have a beautiful relationship, because this person then would completely change from the Four of Cups, from them not wanting to do anything emotionally with you, to fully trusting with the Ten of Pentacles in here. And then there is this act of surprises. There's this sense of achievement from your side to the fact that, okay, so I've done it. You know what I mean? With the Three Chalices there. So that is person A. Person B, you like their consistency. You like how they do stuff for you. But with this person, I don't feel like you because you have the Knight of Chalices in reverse in here. So it's either you promise them something, but you're not willing to deliver it, which is kind of like quite odd for a Scorpio being a fixed sign. You know what I mean? Because my dad is a Scorpio and I have Mars in Scorpio. So I know that when a Scorpio promises something, that it will get fulfilled. So you know where you stand in a Scorpio life, where they make promises and they don't deliver. You know exactly. Because my dad would always fulfill his promises. Yeah. So, but this person feels really, really heavily for you. You know what I mean? There's this honeymoon sense. And you would see this in the present moment, that the person that you're much more interested on is much more withdrew. Whereas the person that you're being the Knight of Chalices in reverse, that you don't really kind of like take them quite seriously. They're much more expensive to you. They, you know, and person B in the future, I feel like you're going to be losing person B. It's either because you've been withdrawn, or they're going to be kind of like quite ngambak, or they're going to be disappointed with that Knight of Chalices in reverse that I told earlier. Or because, so if you're dealing with a fire sign, Aquarius, Libra, and this is person B. So if your person B is Aquarius, a Libra, a fire sign, or an Aries, you're going to get busted. This person would know about the existence of person A and how you guys are, you know, together. You're going to get busted. Just be careful. And there is this, if you're dealing with those signs that I mentioned earlier, you're going to get freaked out over it just a little bit. But I feel like you're still going to be choosing person A, because this person A makes you feel happy, and you feel like the friendship aspect of the relationship between you and person A is good, because you can actually tell them about anything. And they also have 10 of Pentacles, wishes and hopes for the relationship in regards to you. All right. This is such a very long reading, Scorpio. I'm really sorry, but I really hope that you find the clarity that you've been looking for. And I'll see you guys next month. Bye-bye.